My name is Carolyn, and I talk to the spirit world. Travel with me to a dimension filled with love, light, and joyful surprises. Welcome to Carolyn's Psychic Playroom.
Hi everyone, it's Carolyn Wilkins here, welcoming you to another episode of Carolyn's Psychic Playroom. I'm thrilled that you could come and join me today, and for the next 25 to 30 minutes, I'm going to be chatting with a wonderful guest about the connection between spirituality and creativity. All of my guests are fascinating people, and in this particular episode, I'm blessed to have as my guest the wonderful Angel Thacker. And Angel is, as you will soon find out, both a psychic, a medium, a healer, and an entrepreneur who has created the most amazing psychic network of psychics called the New Age Guild, of which, full disclosure, I am a member. And I asked Angel to come on and just talk to us about the whole thing, how she got started as a spiritualist, some of her unique experiences, what it's been like to run this whole network of psychics. And I think that you're going to find out a lot of really amazing things about Angel. But before I jump off into the interview, I always like to share with my guests a little reading that I do from a tarot deck. And lately, I've been super into this new deck that I got. This is called the African American Tarot. And here's the little booklet for it. Everything's backward, but it does say African American Tarot there. And I've just been super excited about it because it is a combination of the standard figures and standard sort of spiritual images of the Rider-Waite tarot deck, but with an African American slant. And the figures that are used are African gods, goddesses, and figures from African American lore, as well as being ancestors. There are ancestors on many of the cards that are famous African Americans. So it's just a wonderful deck combining history, great visuals, and giving an African slant to things. So usually I'm doing these readings for you guys a few weeks ahead of when you actually get to see them. So I always have as my intention when I'm reading with these cards that the reading will apply to the people who are watching it in the moment that you are watching it. So if you don't watch this thing until next year, the reading is individual and meant for you. So, without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and shuffle the cards, and I'm going to ask for 3 cards that I feel my readers, or listeners in this case, most need to know in the moment that they watch this program, whether that is close to now or whether that is distant in the future. Doesn't matter. The intention is a message for you, individually for you, and will strike each one of you a little bit differently according to when you see it and what's going on with you. But what are 3 cards that can give you some guidance and help of what is going on for you now? So I'm going to shuffle them one more time, having set that intention, and now I'm going to spread them out, and I'm going to pull So let's see. The first card is number 1, the Ace of Swords. Can you see that? And the image is Ogung the Blacksmith. And Ogun is a Yoruba deity, but he's also found in many parts of Africa in different variations. The god of blacksmithing. If you think about those amazing bronze figures from Benin, if you've ever been to the art museum and seen those, the Yoruba, those are Yoruba things, and the Yoruba were very into ironworking long before other countries and even on the European continent as much as in Africa. And this is Ogun, the god of blacksmithing. He's also associated with clearing the path with his machete. He's also associated with if you need to go to war, he's going to be there to fight with you with his sword. He's also associated with truth and the highest ethics of truth telling. So those 3 factors to keep in mind. Let's see the next card that comes. Okay, and so the next card that I am pulling here is the 6 of Pentacles. And in the 6 of Pentacles, we have generosity. Generosity. Here we have a Divine Mother figure blessing this man here with his little sheep and goats, I guess they're goats. And the ancestor figure, this looks to me an African American woman preaching and going to vote. So I'm going to look this up. This is the 6 of Pentacles in the African American Tarot. Let's see who this ancestor figure is. And as I say, I find that with this deck you receive not only the blessing of a tarot reading, but you also get a little history lesson in there as well. And so this is Harriet Tubman. Okay, so she's not going to vote. She is leading people to freedom on the Underground Railroad. An act of generosity for sure, if there ever was, and obviously tremendous heroism, but also just an act of generosity to say, I'm going to risk my life to free fellow beings who are enslaved. So this concept of generosity. So far we have Ogun, the blacksmith, the creator of civilization, the guy who opens the way, a powerful force that will fight for you if needed. And here we have Harriet Tubman, no slouch in the powerful force department, also somebody who fought when necessary. You may remember she was a commissioned officer in the Civil War. Okay, last card, and then we'll go to trying to interpret a little bit. So the last card is the 4 of Pentacles, and this man is Gaylord Woods, and he was the inventor of several electrical devices. And I know this only because I looked him up before. And so we have here the 4 of Pentacles, which is usually a card of completion, fullness, sitting pretty in your money, content. And here we have also up here the ability to invent things and create things and to illuminate any situation by your own light. So now looking at our 3 cards, okay, let's see if I can hold them all 3 up here. We have Ogun the Blacksmith, we have generosity, and we have sitting in our own wealth and inventiveness. So my feeling about this interpretation is that whatever you have in your life right now, it is important. to be honest both with yourself and others about what your intentions are. And if you are clear about your intentions and you move forward with that laser focus, you are going to be supported and guided. In a way will be cleared for you to do the things you need to do, provided you approach them with honesty and integrity. And then once you're there, the question is, having achieved the success that you have set out to, be sure to be generous with others, be sure to continue to share with others and not just kind of hoard it all to yourself, but be able to be generous, knowing that you are innately wealthy, blessed with all kinds of wonderful creative ideas, uh, wonderful opportunities to get more for whatever you give away, more will be given. So, that is my reading for you today from the African American Tarot. As I have said before, this reading will apply to you. I have set the intention that this reading will apply to you no matter when you watch this program, and it will hit each of you individually in a slightly different way, and that is fine. So, without further ado, I am now going to bring up my amazing guest, Angel Thacker. Enjoy this interview. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Carolyn's Psychic Playroom. I'm thrilled and honored to have with me as my guest today Ms. Angel Thacker. She is an amazing psychic. She is the owner, chief, CEO, whatever we want to call it, of the New Age Guild, which is an amazing psychic network of which I am a part. And we're just going to be chatting today about all kinds of things, Angel. So welcome to Carolyn's Psychic Playroom, Angel. Welcome.
Thank you for the welcome. I love it. I feel like I'm on a play date now. I'm in the playroom. And
that is the idea. I figure we're in a playroom. We can do no wrong. So the first thing that I generally like to ask my guests is a little bit about how they get started. First of all, you are a medium and a psychic, obviously. Is there a particular area in which you specialize, or what do you do? You have kind of a moniker for what you call yourself?
That's really interesting because I've been doing this for a long time, and a lot of people look at me like, you couldn't possibly been doing it a long time, and I'm like, been doing this since I was a child. And my mother's side of the family hails from New Orleans, so we kind of have a rich, eclectic kind of open process around beliefs and such. And so I always had a sense of little beings when I was a little girl, and I don't remember how old I was, but I had to be on the high side of maybe 5 or 6. I used to see little beings, little light beings walking around in the backyard. And I had a little friend that would talk to me, and I have memories of going on journeys to other planets and through the galaxies and seeing things. And so I grew up a fan of science fiction. We are big film fans. I'm big into movies, and we're Star Trek Trekkies in my family. So I grew up in love with science fiction and writing science fiction because I thought that was just a creative process. I didn't realize I was like floating around talking to people, doing things. As I grew up, I just thought, oh, I really love science fiction. I just thought I was supposed to be a writer.
Yeah.
And we had a family tragedy when I was 14 years old. My favorite brother passed away. And he actually committed suicide, and it was devastating to the family.
Of course.
And he was in, I believe he was in Georgia, and it was so long ago. But when his car arrived, because he died in his car, when his car arrived and landed, literally the moment the plane landed in SFO, San Francisco, we live in the Bay Area,
Mhm.
I could feel his presence the moment the plane landed, and I had weird dreams, and some were nightmares, and I was just
Wow.
a young person, so I was kind of afraid of
Mhm.
it.
Yeah, of
I was like,
course.
no, no. And my mother, who lost her child, was absolutely devastated, and she seeked out some answers. And she found her way into this Christian spiritualist church in San Francisco with the Reverend Gene Cook. And
Ah.
we started attending, and we became members of that church. So I grew up in that church. My first marriage, I was married in that church. And
Wow.
as a result, we're, growing up Southern Baptist, and Methodist, we have Bible study and we have Sunday school. We have all the things, being of color, we Black folk, we love to go to church, right? So you go to church like every day, there's a thing to do in church. Well, it's the same thing in a spiritualist church, except these really cool, all these really cool things. There's open healing night, there's psychic development classes,
Yeah.
there's past life regressions. We did all this cool stuff. Gene Cook's son came, and he was this eclectic young man, a kind of a Renaissance man. So we did Tai Chi and
Neat.
meditation. And so I
Wow.
grew up with that. And for me,
Wow.
it
That
was,
is just
yeah,
fascinating. Oh my gosh.
come on.
So I hope among the many things that you're considering doing is writing a memoir if you have not done so,
I am.
because this is a fabulous story. And this brings me actually a little bit into one of the things that I like to do here on the Psychic Playroom, which is that many of my guests are creative folks who do things. As you know, I'm a writer and a musician, and you just mentioned a deep interest in science fiction
Yeah.
and so forth. And obviously, you have a story to tell. Um, do you do any kind of creative work, or are you considering
So,
doing that?
so years ago, um, and if we have time, I'll tell you about how I manifested my husband. Years ago, when our relationship was still young, I had this vision. So I wanna lay down a common theme in my life where I'm a runner. And I don't mean that I run outside for help. I mean, I run away from what I'm supposed to do all the time. It
Ah,
gets scary and I run. So I've run away from this
mm,
this purpose many, 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 many times. I
mm,
get like, oh, it's scary. Let me go get a job. I got
mm,
benefits. I got a salary. So this is one of those moments where I was running away from it.
I see.
And I was having, I get a lot of stuff in my dreams. And I had this dream that was, I'm not going to share it because I'm trying to write it, but it really had to do with the archangels and
Ah,
their purpose. And it was told from perspective of some other world,
ah,
and how we are on the same path. So I started writing this, and I was a little nervous. I told my husband about it. He's like, you need to write that. That is a really good story. And so
mhm,
I have like 2 or 3 or 4 things kind of smoldering over there that I want to write. And I think the combination of the hesitance, because
mm,
you get busy and stuff, and then just life itself. I
mhm.
need to give myself the same time I encourage my clients to give themselves, so I can sit down and do that. And that's my goal. I've been told that I've got 2 stories that are going to be on the big screen, but I got to write them, right?
You
So
have to write them. Because I was going to say, as you were talking, I was like, oh, that's interesting. Oh,
it's
I would definitely
really,
watch that. But this is something, and now I'm kind of trying to bring it home a little bit for my own listeners, because that is one of the things I like to explore, that nexus between spirituality and creativity. Because, like you, I do believe we're each here with a mission, and that we've been given gifts, And now the question is, okay, here are your gifts. What are you going to do with them? So if you have a great story that's been gifted to you, or a yen or desire for writing. So I know that you also do, and you've mentioned clients. Tell me a little bit about that kind of work that you do. Is it being doing psychic reading, or is it more like coaching, or is it mediumship, or a combination?
That's such a good question. So, like many practitioners, I've done the whole gamut. I started reading with a little tarot deck when I was a teenager, where I just take a little tarot deck and I would answer
Mhm.
questions for people,
Mhm.
reading the little pamphlet.
Mhm.
And I remember this Bishop Brown, he called himself, this old black guy that used to hang out. And he's like, "Girl, when you gonna put that book down?" And I'm like, dang. So how I started, and I went through different bookstores, and went through the community, went to fairs, had booths, went through that process, doing readings, and going to parties. It was more like entertainment
Yes.
back in the renaissance of the process. So you're talking about the 80s.
Hmm.
It was entertainment,
Hmm.
the spiritual growth piece. The gurus weren't really talking about that aspect of spirituality back then.
That's right.
They were
Hmm.
talking about other stuff.
Yes.
And so it was entertainment. It's like, let's have a psychic at our party. Let's
Yeah,
have an astrologer at our
exactly.
party. And so
Sure.
that was really what it was about. And
Hmm.
when we went through the last financial crisis in 2008, my husband and I lost our jobs. I did psychic lines. I've done everything. And so where I'm
Hmm.
at right now, I do have a handful of clients. People contact me from time to time to get
Hmm.
reading. But what I have a passion for is developing people. I love the word coach. I am a certified life coach, and a career coach. And I love to help people get there. I don't like, I have this joke I say, I'm tired of telling people where they found their keys. Like they call me like, I can't remember where I put my keys. I want to help you get to whatever it is this heart passion is of yours. And as a coach in this area, you're talking about having to have that full gambit of skills, because it's not just about reading and getting a message. It's also about healing and
That's right.
releasing and connecting to chords and releasing chords or healing chords or connecting to past lives. So it's like, I feel like all the stuff I've been through, and I've been through a lot, and all the training I've been through, and I've been through a lot, has brought me to this point. But the biggest thing I love to do is to develop practitioners.
Yes.
I came up in Silicon Valley. I've worked in Silicon Valley. I'm very familiar with technology, and I find that a lot of spiritual practitioners are resistant to technology,
Do
and
you think?
yeah, just a little resistant. And where we are today, you have to be open.
It's
So I
true.
really love, you talked about the directory. My passion is pulling people out and putting them on the stage and helping them get out there, because we need everybody. And
That's right.
so where I'm at now is I'm more kind of focused on mentoring and coaching and development with classes and things of that nature. But I still do readings and invocations and healings and stuff when people reach out to me.
That is fabulous. And it makes a great transition to the next thing that I wanted to ask you about, because in addition to all these other things, you founded this organization called the New Age Guild, which is, I'm actually going to let you share about what it is, but I'm pleased and proud to be a member of it. And I will say that I have investigated many psychic. There are a lot of kind of groups of psychics and different things that you can join when you're a psychic to try to get readings and put your profile a little bit more out there. But the thing that really struck me about yours, Angel, was how fully developed it wasn't just, oh, here you can use our service to do phone line by the minute to clients. It was, oh, we're going to have a radio program, oh, we're going to have a blog, oh, we're going to have and you have a whole kind of branding around this group. So can you share with us a little bit, first of all, uh, how long have you been doing it? And tell us just a little bit about the New Age Guild.
So awesome. Let me start kind of not at the beginning because that would take us way far back, but kind of close to the beginning.
Okay.
And that takes us to growing up in California.
Mhm.
And one of the greatest landmarks in spirituality was a bookstore in Southern California called the Bodhi Tree. A lot of people remember the Bodhi Tree. It's gone now. But when I was a little girl, that was one of our meccas. And what I loved about the Bodhi Tree is that you would walk in the Bodhi Tree and everything, you'd have everything. Yeah. Books, the staff was well-rounded. They had workshops, they had readers. What do you want? Yeah. You can have it. Yeah. And so people like you and I who are into this, we had that connection to places like the Bodhi Tree. So then I would look up here in the Bay Area, we had a dozen or more little shops like that, the East West store and some other shops. And so I would go there like, oh, this is great. So it's like, you didn't have to know so much about marketing and development if you could connect to a community. That's right. And that's what it came down to. It's like, and they embraced you. It's like, oh, welcome new practitioners, come play with us. They would have psychic fairs, and they would do this, and they would have this robust mailing list, like let people know. And then you could just grow your skills and grow your talent until you were good at what you did and felt comfortable in your space, and you go off and be fruitful. The retail storefront process is dying. It's a new world now. And so you're finding that those stores aren't there. So I find that the practitioners that are extremely prolific and very talented and very comfortable in this world, in this technical world, are flourishing. And those that are not. Right. And they're very talented. And some of them are extremely talented. So as a marketing professional, which I am, I was like, it's easy for me. And I don't, need it because I have a job. So I would come and I would do stuff and I would stop, and I would come and do stuff and I would stop. And every time I did an event, every time I did a convention, I would be asked all the time by the practitioners, like, oh, when are you going to do a class? When are you going to do something? Because I would love to partner with you. And I don't have the energy to partner with everybody I need, because that's a lot. Yeah. I'm like, if I could put together like a cooperative process. If you look on the site, you'll see that it talks a lot about a co-op. It's a cooperative process where people can invest as minimal amount of money. And people got to understand that the practitioners don't invest a lot. It's a struggle sometimes justifying it, all the work I do, but it's a passion, because I don't want them. And I belong on sites too. Some of them are free and there's like 60,000 practitioners, right? And so you're competing with all these practitioners trying to get it all. And some of them are like $200, $300, $400 a month.
Exactly.
And so, you can join my site for $15, $25 a month, and you're visible and you can participate. So now you're on the site. So what's so different about me and that site over there? Well, I want people to see and hear and feel what you do. Yes. So I encourage, and sometimes I got to drag them across the line, and my practitioners to get on the radio, to blog, to get in on the YouTube, videos, to let people see what they do. Yes. And then I'll give them feedback. I'm like, your video was great. Let's talk about your presentation if you have a minute, so that we can develop them and grow. And I'm always surprised. I'll connect with somebody and get them on the radio show, and they're just this powerful person who's been around forever. And then as I'm preparing for the show, they're like, oh my God, I'm nervous, because they're not used to it. So that's the primary reason I started the New Age Guild. And I like the name Guild, and I picked the name Guild because for me, it was like the old village where you get all the tradesmen together. And you may not know what you need, but if you go to the trade district, you get everything you need. And that's what it is. We've got everything you need. There's no limitation. I'm not like, well, you're an astrologer, I don't want to astrologer, you're a numerologist, whatever it is you do. And right now I've got a really awesome collective of practitioners. I got a crystal alchemist, I got mediums, I got channels, tarot readers, pet communicator, I got all this wonderful blend. And you get anything that you need, even if you can't afford it. They've got videos and radio shows and articles that you can glean information from so that you can feel supported. And so that's why I created it. I wanted to be a knowledge base. And how many people eventually get on it? You know, when I started it, I was shown, oh my God, you'll have all these practitioners on it. I've had the site for 3 years, and I go back and forth because it keeps changing what I want to do, and then it gets busy, and then stuff happens. This current energy that it's with is the final, what I feel is the powerful creation of it, where it's booming now, because now it's ready.
Yes.
So
yes.
Where I'm hoping to go is I need more practitioners. I don't want 60,000 practitioners.
No.
But I'd love 25 to 50 practitioners, so that we can create more energy and give people a platform, you know, to show off what they do, and to learn, and to get in front of people, and to have a database. You know, you get hits, because that's the point of being out here in cyberspace, so to speak, is you want people to see you. And so you may have a really great YouTube channel, but you'll get more people to see you if you're on that YouTube channel over there, and that YouTube channel over there, and that radio show over there, and that radio show over there. And that's the point.
Yes, you have to build kind of a synergy of a lot of different things going on at once. And I will say now, particularly as cyberspace becomes more and more crowded, and more people are a little bit more tech savvy than we were. And one kind of byproduct of this whole lockdown has been that we've all been home figuring out how to use Zoom, how to do our work. If you're still having a business at all, it's because you've figured out how to see clients remotely. So this is all fascinating, and obviously I could talk to you for many hours about the things that you have. It's just wonderful. If people want to find you for, say, for example, your own private work of coaching or reading or that type of thing, is there a particular website that they should go to?
Yes, I make it really easy. It's angelthacker.com, THACKER. If you go to angelthacker.com, you'll see me, lots of sunflowers. I have a big story about sunflowers. And all of my work there. If you go to work with me, you'll see everything I do, my healing, my mediumship, my business coaching, everything is there.
Beautiful.
And my communication to people is really simple. I'm about purpose. Okay. I do have fun. I love the healing. You know, I work with the frequencies and with the violet flame. And I do this thing I call angel invocations to pump people up and get their energy going. And it's wild because I'm a dancer. So it's music and drums and instant. It's beautiful. I love doing that stuff. So if you want to, you know, ignite your life, you know, come see me for that. But my biggest passion is taking you to create what's possible in your life. And I always remember to tell people, you think about impossible. Anybody ever told you something was impossible? Remember that if you separate the words and put the little dilly bob there, impossible is actually I'm possible.
Well, now, go ahead.
That's what I like to do. So if you go to angelthacker.com, you can email me at angel@angelthacker.com. I have a gift for you. I have what I call my 21-day joy challenge, you know, keeping you focused. I call it a joy trip for 21 days, and it's free. So if you join our mailing list, you get the file sent to you, and you can spend 21 days marching towards a space where you remain in a joy vibration, because you can create anything you want in a joy vibration. And I didn't say this, but I'll say it now before I forget, that I am the Joyous Life Coach. That's my coaching brand. Like I am about people being happy. I don't like unhappy.
No.
I like happy, and I want you to be happy. Like you have a great smile. I love it when people have the puffy cheeks here, and the little lines there, because that means you smile a lot.
Yeah.
And you cannot lose if you're always joyous. Even if you don't get the thing, it's because God didn't want you to have that. He's got something else for you.
He's got something better,
Yes,
something
that-
better. Well, that is beautiful. And before we go, the New Age Guild, tell people how they can find, and this once again is a directory of practitioners, and there's also videos, audio, a blog, social media. There's a whole world connected with that. How do people find that?
It's real simple. It's New Age Guild or the New Age Guild, both of them, either way, .com. And you'll go there and you'll get in the front page. And if you are a person seeking support, you'll find the practitioners there on the first page. You can dial them up live. We do have direct dial. You can contact them directly, because the difference between the New Age Guild and some of the other sites is that, you know, not only can you participate in the direct dial, but they can also reach out to you directly. So if
That's
practitioners are considering, you're listed. So like one of the categories you're listed in is mediumship, right? So when they go to
That's right.
mediums, they see your happy face and they can contact you directly
That's
without
right.
having to go through the site, which is awesome. Or they can go to the live call section, and if you're available, they can click and they can talk to you.
Perfect.
And so there's that. If you're a practitioner, and if you're just a seeker, go check it out. There's a promo on there that you get a free email reading when you join the mailing list, and we have a cycle of practitioners that we send it out to, and they just give you an email response. And for practitioners, now you've got a new person on your mailing list. So the whole purpose of this is to grow and develop and to expand information. So come visit us.
Oh my gosh, that is fabulous. Well, Angel Thacker, it has been my great pleasure to have you as my
Thank
guest
you.
on the Psychic Playroom today. I will definitely ask you back another time, because pretty much each topic we hit, we could have gone
I know.
deeper, way deeper, but that's okay. At least my listeners and viewers have a sense of who you are and where they can find you. So thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you. It was a lot of fun, and thank you for having me here. And I look forward to seeing the interview and continue to work with you. You're a pleasure.
So there you have it, Angel Thacker. So I have put her website down below, and please go and check her out if you're interested in any of her services. She's a wonderful medium, as you can see, a wonderful psychic, a wonderful human being. And I will also put a plug in here for the New Age Guild. That is her organization to which I belong. And there you can find all kinds of amazing psychics, mediums, and healers, and find a way to contact us. And we do readings, group readings from time to time. She has a radio show on there. She has TV. She has videos. So lots for you to check out. So I hope that you've enjoyed the program today. I hope that it's brought you joy and lifted you. If you're interested in receiving a reading from me live on the show, don't hesitate to write me at psychicplayroom@gmail.com. And I will be happy to do a reading. They're always anonymous. I just use your initials, but you will get a personal tailored reading free of charge on the program. Meanwhile, wishing you all the very, very best. This is Carolyn Wilkins signing off for now.
Thoughts are things with the energy to make life better for you and for me. Touch the light.